welcome. I'm Shivani and I'm a senior editor at CFO Collective. Collaborative partnerships have experienced rapid growth in recent years, thanks to various drivers like risk sharing, resource pooling, and technology convergence. This growth has also been fueled by the diffusion of knowledge across industries, allowing for more innovation and collaboration than ever before. So, how does this partnership fit into the bigger strategic picture? In today's video podcast, we will explore the strategic partnership between ZEE Entertainment and Quintes Global and the innovative offering Dedicated Captive or DCAP by Quintes that brought them together. To discuss this with us today, we have Mr. Rohit Gupta, President, Finance and Investor Relations, ZEE Entertainment Enterprises Limited, and Mr. Rakesh Sinha, Founder and CEO, Quintes Global. Welcome, Rohit and Rakesh, and thank you for sparing the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani.
So, Rohit, I would like to start with you. We are already seeing the rise of OTT platforms that have disrupted traditional broadcast and distribution channels, and that is just one aspect. Can you walk us through some of the fundamental shifts or changes that you have noticed in the media and entertainment industry in the past few years? And amid all this, how do you see the role of CFOs or finance leaders changing in terms of leveraging collaborative partnership?
Thank you, Shivani. So let me start by saying, I think media and entertainment industry is one of those industries which has seen huge, massive amount of disruptions in the last few years and continues to see as we go along. I mean, right from the start when there were just a few channels in the broadcast space, we have growth in huge number of channels. There are more than 800 channels now. Digital platforms, have come up, and there is increased competition amongst the platforms as well. And the way the content is being consumed is also amazing. Apart from the big screen and the TV screen, we have now a massive amount of content being consumed on smartphones. There is personalization, which is happening. The content is not only produced by the production companies and broadcasters. It's also now the users themselves are producing content, and we call it the user generated content, and they are actually allowing other users to look at it. So really, if you see, there's all kind of disruption, and I'm amazed at the way things are happening. What I can say is, I mean, the way we are living in this industry, we feel that transformation is an important tool. It's very important, powerful tool. And the kind of company ZEE is, we are consistently looking at new and new innovations. We are learning from our global competition as well. And then, of course, we look at the shifting consumer habits. We look at what's going on, and then we are making our content also as purposeful for our consumers as well. The other thing I want to mention about is that digitalization is happening in a big manner, and artificial intelligence is something which all the content producing companies are using, specifically for personalization, creating short videos, contents, and so on. And this is something which we are embracing as well, and we have put up a tech center in Bangalore, which is totally basically we are using it for our platform improvement, personalization, artificial intelligence, and basically it's called the Tech and Innovation Center. So now, just beyond a content led organization, we are now a digital and an AI driven organization. To answer your next question about how is the CFO role, how is it expanding beyond all this? I think the most important thing is that CFOs don't just play a role in accounting. CFOs don't see themselves just as functional leaders. the way I work in Z, it's more like being a co-pilot to Puneet, who's our CEO. Uh, we Whether it's about investment, whether it's about new products that we are launching, whether it's about new business lines, CFOs have to be familiar with what are the underlying transformations that are required, and what is the value that is going to be created. And therefore, the whole mind shift change is something which the CFO drives. They are nowadays the lead and the sponsor for the cross functional projects. And with the increasing use of technology on the business side, the expectation from finance is also really going up.
Sure. Rakesh, what triggered the founders of Quintes Global to form this company with this innovative offering of DCAP amid all this disruption, as Rohit rightly mentioned? And how do you connect this innovative offering with the future of business process management and transformation industry?
From our point of view, I think we have been fortunate to be in the business process management space for close to 2 decades or plus 2 decades now, and been part of setting up, managing, handing over captive shared services across a spectrum of functions and industry domains. We also pioneered in a way the power of captive shared services for Indian organizations in manufacturing and services sectors by creating contextual business cases through talent and skill arbitrage and so on and so forth. To keep up the pace, as a part of our thought leadership, we had 200 plus CXO dialogues across the continents, North America, UK, Europe, APAC, and India. Leaders to understand what is working well for them, what is not working well for them, and so on and so forth. This is where we realize the CXOs typically have two traditional choices: either to go for a pure play captive, or they can outsource some of their support functions to a third-party BPO provider. Interestingly, based on a lot of these dialogue, we realized that these two traditional choices are not remaining relevant choices for the organizations, because both comes with its own advantages and also brings some challenges. So in these dialogue, we realized there's a need to have something which is an alternative. And that triggered, based on the customer demands, for us to form this company, Quintes Global, where we bring in this innovative and global first dedicated captive model, or in short, we call DCAP. DCAP comes with two interconnected components. We call TCOPS, which is transformation centric operations, which is like an exclusive captive operations for each client, and TCAS, which is transformation capability as a service, where we create the power of aggregation of capabilities, be it technologies, be it terms of transformation, and so on and so forth. We also believe in promoting Indian software organizations and giving them opportunity not to just sell in India, but in a global environment. That is something which we bring to the table. So we see ourselves as a disruptor in this space, and also creating an opportunity of an alternative to the CXOs when they are looking for transforming their support functions.
Sure. Rohit, what triggered you to have a strategic business partner? Like, what was the starting point for you? And how did you decide that Quintes Global and its offering of DCAP was the right fit for your organization?
Shared services model has been a proven strategy, and since 2014, Z has been moving towards a partner approach. We have explored newer and newer ways of structuring and operating the different shared service models. First, we looked at the outsourcing model. Then we look at the dedicated captive model which Quintes Global is giving. And we thought that this model is great for us because it allows us the kind of flexibility that we need within our organization. But at the same time, there is a subject matter expertise who is already having the in-depth knowledge of doing various functions, whether it's P2P, R2R, or O2C, and then they help us. They also have various tools, which, quite frankly, for us, like I said, will be not only time consuming but expensive as well. And they bring in a whole lot of hands-on experience and so on. So I think that's the reason we thought that this is good, and we should go for it. And we, quite frankly, we wanted the best of both worlds. We wanted outsourcing, but we wanted our people as well. And this this model which QG has, they have allowed us. And I think QG team is extremely talented. I've worked, very closely with this team. I think it's a very talented team. They have a lot of hands-on practical experience as we go along, and they've done a lot of improvement for us.
Okay, so Rohit, you've partly answered my next question as well. So, what has been the differentiator in the context of ZEE in terms of your overall experience with Quintes Global?
With Quintes Global?
Yeah.
No, so I think with Quintes Global, our partnership is a strategic partnership. It's more than 2+ years now. Very happy to say that they have been continuously delivering on all the commitments that they're doing. They also help us in cost optimization, and the support from the QG leadership and the overall QG team is good. And there's a very good rapport between the ZEE team and the overall QG team as well. And I'm in very close touch with Rakesh, all the time. If there's any issues which come up, I personally take either with Rakesh or with some of the senior management at QG, and they come back. The response time is extremely, extremely good. For us, there is, like I said, let me just number down 3-4 quick advantages that we have. So first is cost optimization. Because they have all the database and they look at all P2P and O2C, they come back to me periodically and said these are the areas where they can be cost optimization, and we have found that it's really helped us. Then again, second, the investment that I had to make on tech, in terms of tools, etc., that investment I have not made. That investment actually is made by QG. They also helped us in redesign our processes, streamline some of our processes, and wherever there was redundancy in the processes, we have done away with both, upstream and downstream processes. And also, they have been proactive in many things. They have brought reduction in days, outstanding. So overall days outstanding, some GST benefits, etc. So they have been proactively, interacting with me and my senior team, and given us pointers where we can improve.
Okay, very well. Rakesh, what would be your take on some of the areas where QG have significantly contributed in the journey of ZEE?
A few specific areas, if I have to just put into bucket, I think one area was very interesting and important for us was to look at people and talent management, where we actually carved out the people. We actually moved the people, the existing people who were working with ZEE to QG, and we are delighted that we were able to retain the talent. And just not retain the talent, upskill the talent, reskill them, and deploy them in a growing roles. And to that extent that we have leverage their participation to get a great place to work certified, certification recently. The second win is more about the cost optimization, which Rohit also touched upon. So we have a commitment, and we have honored that commitment, and we have continued delivering over the last 2 years on that. We have also looked at in terms of tech integrated processes and transformation. So for instance, the backbone of any shared services is document management system and a workflow solution. So we have deployed that, and now it's a cloud-based solution, and so on and so forth. So in fact, the users across the country can leverage that solution. We have deployed value stream mapping for the process controls, and also find lean opportunity in terms of eliminating non-value adds. We have deployed RPA solutions and bot. The transformation and a value delivery always remains to be a core focus. So we have deployed an AI/ML solution. We brought it from US to India. It's an exclusive deployment for ZEE in terms of looking at day sales outstanding and paid on time. Bringing some cognitive analytics to it, and finally looking at how we can not just be a cost optimization center, but we also become a value delivery center to deliver to the P&L and business balance sheet impact to the ZEE. That's the way we are looking at. I think it has been a great journey so far.
Sure. Rohit, since Rakesh already elaborated on the specific areas in which QG has made significant contributions to your business, uh, how has this business partnership enabled and supported your organization's overall goals and objectives? And also, can you provide some examples or indicative ROI that have resulted from this collaboration and how they have impacted your company's bottom line?
I think there are many transformation initiatives which QG has been doing. So some of the areas Rakesh has already mentioned, but just to say, they have helped us in AI ML tool implementation for DSO reduction and POT improvement, and they've also helped us in metricizing operation and identifying process improvement areas. SAP carve out, for ZEE requirement, and they've also taken initiatives to automate many critical sub processes and so on. They've helped us in compliances. They have included compliance clause in MSA for data integrity, security, data integrity clause, also included in the employee offer letter. They've also helped us in IT systems and access control, business continuity plan. They have provided VPN connectivity, remote access, work from home, and they've also shown success during COVID, and all machines were synced with the O365 cloud for data recovery. Focus on business impacts such as, like I said, DSO reduction, improving paid on time through cognitive analytics and upstream downstream linkages. So, if you were to ask me ROI, I don't have exact number, but like I said, our days outstanding have been reducing. We have also taken benefits in taking the GST benefits much quicker, and that they have been bringing in, and then some of the cost areas they have really put in place. The ROIs for all these initiatives is extremely high.
Yes, absolutely, Rohit. I think,
Yeah.
and Shivani, if I can add to where Rohit left his quick 2 points. One is, I think, in terms of there is a year-over-year cost optimization commitment in the contract, which is in the range of 7 to 8%. If you see, we have run voice of customer a survey periodically, and we have seen the kind of response which has come from the users. Over the two surveys, we have seen it is growing up by or getting better by 10 basis points. And recently, as per the survey, the net promoter score, as we call it NPS, we got above 80%, which is way above the industry benchmark, right? And that is something which is encouraging us a lot.
That's good to know. Rakesh, you had mentioned earlier during the discussion that QG's main focus in context of Z was on improving or enhancing people and talent management. So, Rohit, how did Z handle people sensitivity aspects? And Rakesh, if you could add a bit on how did Quintes Global manage the people sensitivities that arose during this collaboration, and how have people responded to this approach?
I think this is a beautiful transition that happened between ZEE and Quintes Global, and 100%. I want to give 100% marks to Quintes Global to handle such a sensitive area, because this has been in our minds since long, and I was always very apprehensive about it. But I think they've done a fabulous job. They confirmed that they will take 100% of the people, and it really happened. I think from December 20, which was the cutoff date, all the responsibility to manage, retain, redeploy talent was with QG. And I think from what I know, the attrition is below 10% there. So people were very comfortable with the QG leadership. I went around, both in Noida and in Mumbai offices, interacted with them, and I've seen them really develop and grow, there.
I think from our point of view, this was also a difficult transition. Reason being, it was a COVID time, right? And people's sensitivities has to be taken in the mind. But as Rohit said, I think we worked very carefully on all those aspects. The communication was very, very critical aspect, and I think jointly we ensured that we settle any anxiety in the people's mind. To our success and encouragement, we got 100% acceptance of the offer, whatever we rolled out as a part of the scope of the people. Just to give you example, for instance, we look at different kinds of mindsets, like growth mindsets, transformation mindset, captive mindset, entrepreneurial mindset. And our vision and values, when we communicated to the people, they were able to relate with it. They were able to relate with it by saying now they are the core team of the organization. They are the part of not a back office, but they are a line function in a way. They are the core team, and so on and so forth. I think that really made a difference. We have something like an every month open house town halls where the employees can ask any questions. We share the progress of the organization, the business updates, and also enable them with a lot of learning and development opportunities.
Nice. You've put it together so well, Rakesh, and the whole process is very structured and smooth, I must say. My next question is to both of you. How is the governance structure working in relation to service delivery and customer interaction? And specifically, how well are both sets of teams interacting with each other to proactively discuss and address potential issues or requirements?
So there is a governance process in place. So
Yeah.
we do monthly business reviews, which my team does, and there is a mid-month review with the operating teams that happen. In the MBR, either it's myself or the financial controller who would be part of it, and they will raise all kind of issues, monitor, the various service level agreements that we have. There's also a fortnightly transformation review program sponsored from our end. On key issues, additional requirements that we have, the teams proactively work with each other. So there is a continuous engagement that is happening, and things like peak volumes, customer escalations, any carve-out, etc. That takes place. Then there are obviously physical meetings that we are having, and I have meetings with the senior leadership with QG to understand if there are any issues which are highlighted from any business team, etc. Immediately, we go back to the QG team and see, what are the root cause, and then we do a root cause analysis, and we address. So I think, and then again, the QG team comes with lots of experience. There's a vast knowledge of all the shared services and they also do a lot of this industry. They have industry platform for shared services where the best practices are shared and adopted as well. So that comes. So I think that's the governance model that we are using.
Rakesh, over to you.
The governance works when both the organization leadership is committed to make that governance structure work. So we have a structure and we also adhere to the governance. That is one. And we have an open communication. I think Rohit and his team, I think the finance controller, I must compliment, and the entire leadership, finance leadership on ZEE side, they provide us the opportunity to transparently communicate the areas where we need their support. And they also follow through on those actions and come back to us to support us, because when you have an upstream and downstream processes working together, then only it makes a difference. So that is working very well. The second point is we also take a lot of ownership. As I keep talking about, there's something called 2% factor. So in a governance, somebody has to take that 2% factor. So our team, QG team, the leadership takes that 2% factor, that ownership, to make that governance happen, to make that information is summarized and shared with the ZEE leadership, and so on and so forth. The entire senior leadership is committed to make this partnership successful.
Very well. Rakesh, what would you say is the skin in the game of Quintes Global as the partner for this kind of partnership to work well?
There are, if I can say broadly, 5 types of commitments we make when we get into the engagement like this. And even in the ZEE, we made that. We say we look at holistic view of support function. It's just not about the fag end of the process or downstream processes which we are, performing in the DCAP, but also looking at upstream and retained processes, how to transform it holistically. Second is supporting and upskilling the people and the talent, basically to move from the capacity. So they are a capacity, but how to convert them into capability. That's a commitment we look at, the second one. The third one, of course, we talked quite a few times about is the cost save optimization year over year. So we make commitment and make it as a part of contracts pretty much. The fourth commitment we make is a holistic take view. Again, looking at existing core technology like SAP and bringing in, introducing new age technology, cutting edge technology on a pay-as-you-go model. And last but not least, most critical is bringing tech-led transformation investments.
Okay. Very well. Rohit, what are some of the areas in your business that you think Quintes Global can focus on over next 1 year?
Well, there are many areas. Actually, both Rakesh and me have been talking about, lots of new areas that they can look at. They can lead some of the transformation initiatives at the company level. We are also encouraging them to have some front end driven, policy driven, fixes for our processes, like raising POs on time, ensure making payments are there on time. Also, I think, as you know, ZEE is going ahead with a merger with Sony. I think there are many areas which will come up where Quintes Global can really, take up new areas, and specifically if there are integration projects which are coming along, again, they can look at that.
Rakesh, to conclude this talk, please share some of the key outcomes your customers or prospects are looking for, and how is Quintes Global's innovative new age and disruptive model helping them to achieve that?
Yeah. Thanks, Shivani, for asking that. I think this is where we work very actively with some of our prospects to, understand what they are looking in terms of their outcomes. So there's always a dilemma in their mind how to focus between core and a sub-core processes. They want to infuse more leadership bandwidth to the business growth, while actually they end up spending a lot of time on the sub-core processes. They want to avoid duplication of efforts, bring efficiencies, do continuous transformation, year over year saves. They want payback in the same year when they invest into any technology. Also, really reaping the benefit from the existing tech investments, looking at enhancing customer experience. On top, management assurance is what they look at, and connecting both upstream, downstream processes and so on and so forth. This is where we come in and we talk to our customers and prospects by saying, we will do that carve out of your sub-core processes. And the beauty of our model is to create or become an extension of our customer organization. Hence, this sub-core is not taken away, but it is converted into what we call from a staff function to a line function or a strategic function. We bring those commitments in terms of optimization, the cost optimization, year over year, starting with year one itself, bringing management assurance through the right dashboards, insights, control parameters, bringing investments, and hence their avoidance for them, moving from capex to opex, which I talked about, leveraging existing talent. So that's another challenge which I have seen with a lot of organizations by saying how to look at the people mix, because I think, if you may get a better talent and so on and so forth. We say, no, we'll leverage the existing talent and work with them to create growth opportunities for them, provide them continuity of services, convert them into capability. And at last, it is all not just about productivity saves. It is about really the business impact, which is P&L impact, cash flow impact, balance sheet impact, whatever it may be, the tangible value delivery. And we say, okay, we'll have that gain sharing model where we'll work with you to get the incentive and deliver to you the value.
Okay. Thank you, Rakesh, and thank you, Rohit. With that, we come to the end of this very lively and insightful discussion. And I'm sure that our audience will find some valuable nuggets of information to take away from this discussion. I would once again like to thank you, Rohit and Rakesh,
Thank
for
you.
sparing your time to talk to us today.
Thank you, Shivani.
Thank you, Shwan. Thank you.